What's the worst Christmas present you have received? Hey people of Reddit, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the holiday spirit by exploring the not-so-jolly side of gift-giving. Join us as we unwrap the tales of the worst Christmas presents ever received. Get comfy and get ready to hear some hilarious, cringy, and totally relatable stories about the worst gifts ever received. From the "what were they thinking?" to the "you've got to be kidding me," we've got it all. So grab your snacks and let's unwrap the tales behind those gifts that definitely missed the mark this holiday season. Number 10. I participated in a voluntary office Christmas exchange in 2012 with a $30 limit. My gift was a CDR of the giver's favorite album. I was less than enthused, but nonetheless slid the disc into my car to check it out, only to find out that it was blank. The person had written the band name/album title on the disc, but forgot to actually burn a copy. Edit, it was supposed to be the album Spit by Kitty. I had a kind of other way round experience. I got this older woman I got along with very well a solar-powered garden lantern that cost twice as much as the maximum budget. I watched her open it at her table, pull a face at it, laugh at it with her table mates and then leave it there when it was time to go. I was pretty gutted and stole it back for myself since she didn't want it. Number 9. My great-grandma gave my cousin a jock strap from Goodwill. Her mental health was bad at this time. 1992-ish. He started crying. He was 9. Replied, "Ugh, sad situation for both of them." My grandmother, as dementia wreaked havoc on her brain and changed her into a different person, on one memorable occasion took my then 8-year-old, I think. At any rate, he was very young. Brother's half-eaten ice cream away from him, told him he shouldn't get ice cream anyway, and ate it herself in front of him. Somehow my little brother mustered up the self-control and tact to just say, okay, and just sit quietly without reacting. It had been explained to him that grandma's behavior was off with telling an 8-year-old that and said 8-year-old being able to manage it in the moment are two different things. After dinner, my mother quietly snuck my brother into the kitchen, praised his behavior, and fixed him a big replacement bowl of ice cream, which he ate in an undisclosed location where grandma couldn't see. The whole thing was just sad and horrifying. In her right mind, my grandmother would have been delighting in serving the grandchildren dessert and would never ever have said or done such a thing to any 8-year-old, let alone her grandson. She'd only lived another few very difficult years. Dementia sucks. Number 8. Every year my aunt gives our family thrift Santa gifts, like a bunch, from thrift stores. The thing is, nothing relates to anything. The worst I've gotten are among a Kama Sutra book when I was 13-14, awkward, and a New York Yankees baby onesie. I don't have kids, I don't watch baseball. Number 7. Last year my mom bought me a can opener, wrapped it and gave it to me when everyone was gathered around exchanging gifts too so they'd all see and get to share in her laughter. Unfortunately, she was the only one who found it funny, everyone else just thought it was freaked up. Number 6. My extended family used to do this thing where you'd put your name on a piece of paper and put it in a hat, then draw someone out, that's who you'd get a gift for. It was supposed to be anonymous. I've had 2 terrible gifts on consecutive years. The first terrible gift was a DVD of Fast and Furious 3. I'd literally never watched even a second of those movies, and I'm pretty sure the franchise was up to like episode 4 or 5 at that point. The very next year, someone got me a cheap pair of fake leather driving gloves. They were about 2 sizes too small. So me, not being a car guy at all, has somehow convinced my uncles and aunts that I'm secretly a Tokyo Drift racer or something. The year after that, my mom got my name. You're supposed to put the name back if it's immediate family, but she kept my name knowing I'd had screwed 2 years running. She got me a Kindle Fire. Number 5. Started loving computers at age 7 in 92, ZX Spectrum, and then 186, 286, etc. At our local kids club. Kept on going, learned to code early, was addicted to everything related to them. Grandma called me and told me she had sent money to my parents to buy me a PC, at 11, in 96. I was so excited all my friends could not wait to see it and play with me. I could not sleep for days on end. Then Christmas Eve came. We did the gifts in the evening. Rushed under the tree and, surprise, I got a mobile electronic organ player. My mom told me it has buttons right, just like a computer. She took the money and bought an automatic washing machine. I'm still f***ing upset, Mom. Thanks Thanks everyone for commenting and supporting me. Wanted to clear something out? I was / am a bit upset only on that particular situation. My family is fantastic. They made sacrifices above and beyond for me. We were almost on the poor side. I love both my parents and I admire them, and I did not want to paint a monster picture of my mom. I love her and respect her like nobody else in my life. I did reply to this question to explain that certain situations that happened during your childhood will have an impact for the rest of your life, even more if they are connected to an event celebrated by many others. I remember it and get a bit sad, but then I remember my childhood and my family and I smile, knowing that I grew up in a positive environment and that they gave up so much for me to grow and allow me to have my own journey. I tried my best to reply to all the comments. I am dyslexic and sometimes I do not write the words correctly. Apologies for that. I did, however, notice one fantastic thing. You guys are supportive, each in his own way. And that is wonderful. These days, people like you are rare. Thank you, and I do hope that you all have a happy life and that you will be able to learn from others, as I also do, and avoid making some mistakes. Be safe and stay awesome. Number 4. So I was dating a guy for a few months when Christmas rolled around. He had recently started a new job that required travel, and this was before smartphones and built-in GPS in your car were common, so I splurged a bit and got him a Garmin to help him find his way. Thoughtful, useful, but not too sentimental. It felt perfect for where the relationship was at the time. Due to schedules, we couldn't get together until a few days after Christmas. In my haste to go see him, I walked right out the door without his gift. I didn't realize it until I got to his house, and I felt terrible, but he said, "No worries, I'll give you your gifts now, and I'll just get mine later." Cool. So he goes into the other room and comes back with 2 wrapped gifts. I noticed some of the paper was messed up like it had been wrapped, but didn't think much of it in the moment. I carefully unwrapped the first package. It was a MMA magazine that had clearly been read. I was confused. I do not like MMA, not even a little bit. Nor am I or expressed interest in MMA, not once. He, on the other hand, loved all things MMA. Trying to move on, I politely thanked him, set the magazine down, and refocused on the next gift. I could tell it was a DVD from the shape of the package. And indeed, it was a DVD. A Forrest Gump DVD, with the cellophane wrapper missing. Now don't get me wrong, Forrest Gump is a solid choice. Except I already owned a Forrest Gump DVD, and now here I was suddenly the proud owner of a second copy that appeared used. I again thanked him and sat there quietly, trying to wrap my head around how he could have arrived at the conclusion that a used magazine on a topic I didn't like and a secondhand DVD of something I already owned would make for good Christmas gifts. He also got a little quiet, then sheepishly volunteered, "I up at bored, so I watched the movie yesterday." I just stared. And then I hadn't seen that issue yet, so I went ahead and read through it. "I think you'll really like it." I slowly responded, "So, you got me a magazine because you wanted to read it, and then watched the movie you got for me because you were bored." His only response was, "Well, yeah, I guess so." I left not long after. The next day, I returned the Garmin for a full refund. About a week later, he called and said he didn't think it was working out. "No problem," I said. "I don't think it's working out either." As we were wrapping up the call, expressing well wishes and all that, he paused for a beat and said, "Hey, are you still going to give me that Christmas present?" TLDR, and then a magazine that had been read and a used Forrest Gump DVD. Number 3. A set of miniature butter knives with ceramic fruit and vegetables as the handles. From an aunt who said that I was so hard to shop for. I was 7. Number 2. Instead of received, I'll switch to gave. I bought my whole family tickets to see James Brown live. Literally within minutes of them opening their presents, it was announced on the news Christmas morning that James Brown died. Number 1. One year I got what was actually a super cool present. My parents had worked for months putting together this awesome art kit. It was a big toolbox filled with good scissors, glue, paint, colored pencils, glitter, and every other thing a crafty little kid could want. The problem was, every time they would go upstairs to add to it, they had a running joke where they would say, "We're going upstairs to feed your present," or "We need to take your present for a walk TTT." So of course on Christmas morning, instead of being a little kid who was stoked to get a huge box of art supplies, I was a little kid who was devastated that I didn't get a puppy. What was the point of doing that? Oh man. My family likes to make a game of throwing each other off the scent, so our presents are more of a surprise. The mistake was acting like a pet every time. They should have switched it up and said, "We're going to wash and wax your present," or "We are going to water and prune your present." Thanks for tuning into our dive into the world of less than stellar Christmas gifts. If you've got a story to share about your own holiday gift-giving adventures, drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit that like button if you had a laugh or two, and subscribe for more fun and relatable content. Wishing you all happy holidays, and may your gift exchanges be filled with joyous surprises. The good kind, of course. See you next time.